take on that?
All right. Let's take a second. One of my buddies just came out with a new video. I'm gonna pull this up real quick.
Okay.
This is a teaser to the new Kay Fellowz interview.
Oh, okay. This is from a while ago.
No, he just released this within the last hour.
Oh, okay.
Now,
that's why she wasn't on here, huh?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
An interview with somebody else.
Okay.
It says teaser Kay Fellowz talks about her debate with Destiny. Do you know who Destiny is?
You got to inform me a little bit.
Destiny is a streamer. He's on Twitch mainly. He just started streaming on YouTube as well, but he's always put out like videos on YouTube, kind of like I do, where he'll stream for a while and then take like, clips of segments that he does and puts those out separately. And he's mainly like a pretty progressive sort of person that does a lot of debates.
Okay.
He's mostly known for de-radicalizing alt-righters. So like very like racist sorts of people. He'll have these amazing debates with them and completely just shred them. I mean, truly.
So he's not like a progressive left guy de-radicalizing the far right. He's just a centrist dude that says, well, take a step back, look at the whole picture, right?
Kind of like I would say that he's very pragmatic, that he's very good at looking at the full picture, but he has different values from me. So like, I don't think it's simple enough to say he just looks at the whole thing. Like, no, I think that he has different values from somebody who's a conservative. But with that said, like he's still very good at like tearing down these sorts of arguments. Like this is kind of his specialty. And let me see. I think that I've got like a quick rundown of one of his most famous debates against a guy named JonTron.
Okay.
JonTron was a super like popular right-wing kind of comedian guy and had a lot of content out and eventually jumped on the Destiny stream where he just disagreed with stuff that Destiny was saying about Black Lives Matter. And I believe that that's where this kind of starts. So let's pull this up real quick. And just like Destiny, the main thing with him is that he just asks like simple questions that most of us wouldn't think to ask, which just by asking the question, why, tears down the entire argument. Like sometimes you don't even think to ask the question why, and it tears down everything. So let's play this for a second.
It is a European nation historically. There's just no debating that. When people try to debate that, there was obviously the slave population who lived here, brought here against their will. So they were emancipated. Of course.
Oh my gosh! It says he's openly racist.
The European nation.
Crazy.
1800s and the early 1900s, Italians and Irishmen were discriminated against like massively coming to the United States. Like they were called, I think Irish people were called the inside out Negroes. Like,
but we weren't there at that time. I mean, I was born in 1990, well past the, I mean, I'm not even 100% white. I'm just saying this is a matter of fact. So when I bullshit, I just know it. And
well, what do you mean by matter of fact? What I'm saying is that as time has gone on, we've seen more and more people be included in the identity of what it means to be an American. So it seems strange that today there's like this massive pushback on who can become included in that demographic. That just seems kind of strange.
I understand. But they started doing this thing where they were like, well, if you're black, you're here. If you're white, you're here. If you're,
I would say that Jim Crow laws probably assigned white and black people to different areas more so than a Black Lives Matter speaker or Obama talking about a racial issue.
I just don't know that it's on the same level, especially because
Well, it's not. It's on a much lesser level than it used to be. We don't have Jim Crow laws anymore. We don't, women's suffrage happened, like,
you're right, and people still manage to create divisions between themselves.
Well, because there still exist divisions. Black people are disproportionately represented in prisons. Women are disproportionately represented in certain workplaces.
Okay, but the argument is that it's white people who caused them to be in those places. That's the implicit argument, not that they have any agency of their own.
Who do you think was responsible for Jim Crow law?
Well, of course it was white people, of course. I'm not arguing for Jim Crow.
Well, I mean, if you go back 50, 200 years, yeah, it was kind of white people that did it. Now, I'm not saying that we need to lock white people up now or bring back reparations or anything, but
they say you want to have a conversation, but they don't really want to have a conversation. They just want to blame whites more and more. And the more
if you
oh my gosh,
daughter that was 18 years old, would you send her to hang out with 400 guys that were all like known like fucking juggalos or people that rape people or whatever all the time? Would you have her hang out in that environment?
No,
probably not, right? What the argument I'm getting to is that your environment shapes you a lot, right? If you have a family that dates back, hundreds of years, if you've got parents that help you, parents that take care of you, like these things have a major impact of your life. If you have grandparents that were directly impacted by Jim Crow, you have parents that were born to people that were directly, discriminated against by the state. I mean, we're not that far removed from these issues. It's not like, well, my grandparents deal with this. Do we really have, we still deal with the Red Scare in the West.
So Jim Crow, one aspect of it here in America, but as far as the rest of the Western world, we don't have these same precedents. And there's
I only want to speak
in those communities.
I only want to speak in regards to the United States because everything else is way more complicated. When you get into the histories of other countries and Islam and in the Europe and everything, that's all different countries.
Nobody would ask Japan if it was okay that Japan become a minority Japanese nation.
But we're not Japan, and I don't care about Japan. And also, Japan is one of the most racist fucking countries in the world.
I mean,
we like Japan.
This word racist, what does it mean?
It means that the Japanese people thought that they were the superior Asians, and it was part of the reasons why they were so keen to do that shit they did during
China.
World War II. Japanese viewed themselves as the superior Asian race, and every other Asian is being subservient to them. It doesn't get much more racist than Japan. You want to try to draw a parallel to another homogenous society. Japan is like the worst go-to argument. It's also a dying country of people who, because they refuse to let anybody else in, are having horrible problems with their population. Who, like, Japan is a lot of like world record-setting suicide rates. Like, I don't think Japan is.
Okay, so you get the point.
The fact that he talks about Japan, I that's interesting because I learned. I mean, obviously I never got really in depth in high school about Japan and the what the heck was it called? The Manchurian Massacre, is it? Or in China, they just massacred a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they thought they were inferior to their own Asian ethnicity, I guess. So well, that's an interesting video.
So eventually Kay went on to debate Destiny on Modern Day Debate. And that's where this starts.
Worse. Just that it makes it different, meaning it needs like a different it needs like a different prescription, a different solution. Like if my kid was walking around a playground and he punched, like two people in the face, and he just did it because he wanted to punch two people, like my solution for that problem is going to be different than if my kid was walking around the playground and he punched two girls because he hates women, right? Like both of these are bad things. Arguably, they're the same. Like both of them are punching people, but the source of the problem is way different, meaning the solution is going to have to be way different when addressing it. It gets kind of weird to say, like, is it worse to murder somebody because they're black or because they're gay or just because you're pissed off and you want to do it? Like, I don't know if anything is necessarily worse than the other. I just think that like different types of motivations for problems demand different solutions for those problems.
I would agree with that. I think that there's a huge polarization in the conversation that's happening right now because it's a white cop killing a black man, and everybody wants to jump on the racism train whenever a white person kills a black person. That's unfortunately the first way that the narrative always goes. And the reality is that we don't just have a racism issue in America. We have a police brutality issue. Several people brought up that just a few years ago, a white guy was murdered by cops in almost the exact same way. They pinned him down to the ground and he suffocated to death. And you don't hear enough about that. And I think that there is a conversation that needs to be started about the fact that, it's a police brutality issue, and we can stem a conversation off of that says that police brutality, affects the black community more than it affects the white community, but it's still a police brutality issue. And we can address both of these issues at the same time and acknowledge both of these issues at the same time. Not one of those issues is necessarily worse than the other, but they are issues that need to be addressed.
Gotcha. And another question.
So the problem with this entire debate is that they agreed on literally everything.
Okay.
The whole way through. It was supposed to be a debate about the lockdown, but
I mean, I could see. I thought the guy. I'm sorry if I was interrupting, but the guy on the lower. Crap! I forgot what his name. The guy on the lower left. I really thought I thought he was gonna go hard after Miss Kay Fellowz about the lockdown and saying, like, no, how else are they supposed to, keep people safe and yada yada. So
yeah, no, the guy in the bottom left just moderates the debates. So
you should admit, I'm telling you right now, if in the near future or in the far future, if we if I invite myself, or if I or not moderate, but if I join a video, there's no way in hell no one's gonna moderate each other.
So
you should admit, I'm telling you right now, if in the near future or in the far future, if I invite myself, or if I or not moderate, but if I join a video, there's no way in hell no one's gonna moderate each other. That's not how society how society works. That's not how you can argue. Right. Right.
I think moderation is good. I think that lots of times, especially in online debates, where we have this separation where, like, I don't feel as though I know you. There's nothing you can do about it. I can call you all sorts of names, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't come over here and punch me. There's no recourse for you. So in online debates, they get very heated. They start screaming and yelling at each other. This is not normal in-person debates. This sort of stuff does not happen. But
it's what you see on CNN or Fox.
I guess, yeah, like it's stuff where you're separated, where you're on different, you're in different parts of the country or whatever. Like this stuff's a lot more common, but it's not common in person. So when you do online debates, or when you're on Fox or whatever, you have to be able to. You have to have a moderator to be able to kind of like calm people down, make sure that everything's kosher. Like, you have to be able to get somebody to look out for the actual conversation and make sure that it's conducive. And so this is my buddy Chicken. Talking to Kay earlier today. They had a small interview and they put out just like a quick segment about her debating Destiny.
Okay.
You have a pro-life debate coming up, am I right?
I do. Tomorrow night, I will be on Modern Day Debate with someone I am not familiar with. It'll be my third debate on that channel, and my third abortion debate on that channel.
So of all the debate channels, like I'll credit you and Tom for getting me to pay attention to some of them. Some of them I find.
Yes, he goes by the name Chicken.
Okay, sorry.
He's from a show called Dog and Chicken.
Okay.
So yes, this guy right here, he is Chicken.
Okay.
I guess you call it a moniker, I suppose.
Just super cringe. But the modern day debate one, I really like that platform. I love how they run it. I think it's fair. I think it's honest. And there's not like 50 heads on the screen screaming at each other. I love it. It's structured. And I think everybody learns a little something, but you know, the two people debating and the audience actually learns from that show. I really enjoy watching those. And who runs that one? I can't remember the guy's name.
James. Yeah, James runs it, and he's super great. He's been having, I don't know if you're familiar with Hunter Avalone. He's been on YouTube for a while. But his wife actually moderates there from time to time too. James, he tried to rope me into moderating, and I was like, this is just not my wheelhouse. Like I do whenever I have two toddlers, whenever they start screaming, I start screaming. Like this is not for me.
Yeah, I'm not the cool, calm, collective one in some instances. Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, him and Carissa do a super great job of like making sure that everybody gets equal talking time, like people aren't screaming over each other, like making sure that it's actually like productive conversation, which like I can really appreciate, especially being that like I typically go on for pro-life debates, and those usually but in my experience, those turn south really, really fast, and I haven't had that experience on James's platform yet, because he does a really, really great job of like, let's be respectful. Everybody gets equal talking time. We're not going to talk over each other.
Leah Hayden is on Twitch. Leah, make sure you follow us. We're doing a very, very late night stream tonight. Just randomly jumped on and decided to do something real quick. But normally we got a lot going on this show.
Main event said love the show. I'm assuming with this one or.
Yeah, he was saying he loves this show. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time, by the way. So.
Yep. Yeah, we do a lot of different stuff on this channel. We're just now adding Twitch to our platform, so I appreciate you joining, Leah. Make sure you join make sure you follow. You can join our Discord as well. But we're just now getting into Twitch, so help us build that up. Hit that follow button. We're just hanging out and watching videos tonight. Well, this one's one of my friends.
Yeah, like so on and so forth.
That's good. I do enjoy watching. It's like I've watched some of the weirdest damn debates on there that I was like, that's not really that interesting. But then I start watching, I'm like, okay, we're doing this. All right, let's like be some of the weirdest topics sometimes. But
I know he does a lot of like one religion versus the other religion, or like Christianity versus atheism. And I'm just like, I don't even know. Like I don't care, but why am I watching this? But here I am, like an hour and a half in, just watching. Like, why am I here?
Yep. No, it's good stuff, honestly. Like I never thought I'd get into it. I've never, like, I like debating people in a sense, but usually I do it from a place of very little knowledge and just kind of off the cuff shit I know, and a lot of platitudes and insults. Like that's my type of debating. After a few drinks at a bar, and then I buy you a drink afterwards, whether we win or lose. That's like my style of debate. Now, when I see an intellectual style debate like that, I'm like, oh shit, these people really thought about it. Like I know I can't talk to them. So
it was funny because like I had never heard of the platform before, but James has a really good friend on Twitter that had been following me for a while, and he was looking for someone to debate Destiny on lockdowns. And I had, I'm not super familiar with like the gaming world, and I didn't follow a lot of politics on YouTube. I had no idea who Destiny was. And I was like, how the fuck do you not know who Destiny is?
He's
like,
kind of a big deal.
Like, I'm like the day of, I'm like on YouTube watching like his live streams that he has on YouTube, like looking, like fast forwarding through, like, does he talk about abortion in this one? Because like I had no idea who he was. I had no idea what any of his opinions were. Like, and everybody's like, like, how did you not know who Destiny is? And I felt like he kind of felt that way too. Like, you don't know who I am. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are.
Right. He is kind of a pretentious kind of dick sometimes, though. Like, he's obviously a very intelligent guy, and he's a Nebraska homeboy. So, like, woo woo, all way to rep the state. But he really comes off as really pretentious, really smug, and almost not more smug than arrogant, I guess. I feel there's a difference between the two, but
Like Ben Shapiro.
Maybe I completely
Oh, a little bit.
disagree
Sorry.
with Chicken on here. Like I don't think that he's pretentious or smug. I think
Well,
that
it's like if you
confident.
ask, yeah, it's like if you ask a question and then he answers already, like you should have known this. Like, whoa there, buddy, back off, back up now. Not
I
everyone has the same. If you
confident.
ask, yeah, it's like if you ask a question and then he answers already, like you should have known this. Like, whoa there, buddy, back off, back up now. Not
I
everyone has the same set of mind,
maybe
know?
maybe kind of like if you're gonna go onto a show to talk about something, like you would assume that you know what it is that you're talking about. Like
Yeah,
I said before, like I'm very careful about the things that I'm willing to talk about on here because I don't know everything and I don't
right.
pretend to know everything. And
Yep.
one of the things about my platform that I try to use this for is to say, like, hey, look, I want my community to be able to help me out. If I get something wrong, like tell me I'm wrong, send me an article, send me a video, we'll go watch it, we'll figure it out, we'll get it right in the end. And that's what matters. I'm very careful to make sure that I'm not stuck to any position. I'm more just worried about what the truth is and finding that. And I feel as though Destiny is the same. I feel as though he's kind of led me to be a better content creator. Early on, I felt as though, look, if I say something that's wrong and you believe me, that's your problem. Like, you shouldn't have believed me. Like, that's, like that's not my fault that you decided to believe me or you decided to watch me or you decided to listen to me. Like, that's how is that my fault? But over time watching Destiny, like, he talks a lot about being a responsible content creator. And it's something that I learned from him is like, if you're going to put yourself out there, you're choosing to do this. You're choosing to put yourself online and have followers and have people who watch you and listen to you. I have a very successful podcast platform where people come and they listen, by the hundreds on a daily basis to what it is that I think or what it is I have to say. And so I, over time, started to realize, like, oh, this is an actual responsibility. I can sway people in one direction or another by what it is that I say on these platforms. And so Destiny, if he's going to talk about something, he has a lot of confidence in what it is that he's saying. And that might come off as pretentious, but it's to me, it's just confidence. Like, he believes in what it is that he's talking about. He believes that he's right. He believes he knows what he's saying. And it's just as simple as that.
Probably my only real criticism. Dude's obviously super intelligent. He's really thought about his opinions, but sometimes it's hard to buy into him because, like, there's one thing he does constantly, like every week. And the only reason I still watch him is because I know Tom watches him a lot, and Tom kind of shares a lot of his opinions. So whenever I'm going to argue with Tom, I watch some Destiny and I kind of get an idea like where Tom's coming from, so I can get ahead of him. Secrets out, Tom. No, but so I'll watch some of it, and I'll be like, one of his audience members will like make a comment or mention something, and he will like just lose his shit, rip their ass, and not like in a fun way. And maybe that's just this thing he does. I don't know. Maybe they pay money to get their ass chewed by Destiny.
He's right. Destiny like rips on his own community hard.
Oh, okay.
Like, he'll start banning people just for being wrong sometimes. Like,
that's a little tough.
they'll
Yeah.
just say something and he'll be like, nah, you're wrong. You're banned. That's it. You're gone. See ya
It's like
later.
the Boston, yeah, it's like that article. It's like the newspaper has said, nope, your opinion's wrong. Get the hell out. Next.
Well, I mean, on
Right.
that are like more of an opinion, like
Hmm.
yeah, I guess he doesn't care so much, but on things that are like what it is wait, for people who debate a lot, there are
Hmm.
things that are pretty clearly bad faith, meaning like you're not truly trying to understand. You're coming into this to disagree with me. You're coming into this to try to fight me.
Yeah.
And so therefore, like when you start saying things, I can see it. I can see it immediately that you are not trying to have a conversation. You're not trying to learn. You're not trying to get information. You're just trying to fight me here.
Hmm.
And so like if you ignore like half of what I say and then just pick out like one little part and try to fight me on that, it's like, whoa, well, why did you ignore everything else that I said? Like that, you know what? I don't even want you part of my community. If that's the way you interact with people, you're banned. See you later.
Yeah.
Like, bye. Like, and that's the way he does things. Like, and I
Okay.
think it's super commendable as somebody who like has to fight for freaking viewers and community members. Like I don't have the guts to ban people outright like for forever. Like I can't do that. I need those people. Like I need those views. I need those people watching. Like so I think as somebody who's able to say like, you know what, I don't care whether or not I get the views. All I care about is the fact that I build a community that's actually willing to listen, that's willing to have conversations in good faith. Then that's what matters. And I'm gonna hold the stance that if you're coming here just to fight, just because, then I'm just gonna get rid of you. I'm not even worried about you. So
True. Yeah.
he's right though. Like on a weekly basis, at some point, Destiny will just rip into one of his community members, cussing them out, telling them they're the biggest idiot that has ever lived, that they don't even deserve to be on this planet, like just, going in on
Wow.
them and then ban them. Like, it happens all the time.
It's so
Yeah.
weird. But no, it's so fucking weird, cringe, and wrong to like speak to people that way. I don't feel like you should ever be like, you know what, fuck you, you got a stupid fucking opinion, you're a fucking moron. Like that's how he acts to his audience. And I'm like, you don't get to talk to anybody that way. I don't care who you are or how smart you are. Like you don't get to act like that. Like that's my biggest beef with the guy. It's gross to me.
Yeah, and I got the vibe that like his audience does. Like they watch him and they comment for like that specific person to get like that reaction. Like that's their purpose of like they know he's going to react that way, and so they intentionally do it just to see him go off. And I'm like, that's just
What a waste of
it's
money.
a weird dynamic, but like you do you, I guess. Like
Yeah.
it was funny though.
I kind of agree with them. The problem is that I've noticed this over time. My community listens better when I yell.
Yeah.
They do. When I get emotional, they feel me a little bit more. Like they start listening. Their ears perk up a little bit more when I start going at it. When I start yelling at folks, when I start getting excited and I get emotional, like they start getting into it a little bit more. And this is something that Destiny takes advantage of on a consistent basis, where he can like see that somebody is wrong and now it's time
Feeds on
to
it.
go. Yes, it's time to go. Like,
Yep,
this
for
is it.
sure.
Like, yes, if there's a moment that I need people to understand, it's right now. I'm going in. And he digs in. And it's like, it's normally some like, so half the time it might just be some like innocent community member that just like didn't see the first half of what he said and only saw the second half. And now they're like a little confused. Doesn't matter. he's going in. Like
It's like a professor just rips on a student that came in halfway through his teaching process, and then literally points him out and says, "You have any questions, sir? Because you came in halfway, so you damn right better have some questions." You know?
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Literally,
it's
yeah.
more like a performance, though. Like it's
Sorry,
more
performance. Okay.
performative. Yes, it's more like, it's more like I need my audience to get emotional with me. I need them to feel what it is that I'm saying right now, and it's. As I've said, I mean, my most popular videos, my most popular debates, like my best stuff that I've put out are things where I get emotional in them. And over time, I realized this. I'm like, oh, people like it when I get emotional. They enjoy that. They seem to be a little bit more convinced when I start yelling at folks. And so, like, I get what they're saying, and I think that, like, ethically, like there could be some problems with this.
I don't know. I mean, everyone that does this type of platform, they do it in their own unique way. They think that, okay, it was successful in this last round, I might try it again this round. That's the way I saw it when you showed me that video. I'm thinking, like, I don't know, I mean, like, look at the way that I don't know I can't really give you a good example, but all I can think of when I thought about him, about Destiny, was Ben Shapiro. I mean, for God's sake, that dude can talk fast. And I'm thinking, I don't know why. Like, why? Like, just because you talk fast and you spit out facts does not mean you're going to be 100% right. That's just your viewpoint of what you've come up with, right? I mean, I watched some of the stuff and some of the stuff that he bashed the shit out of, even some of his Republicans, or even some of his own people. I'm like, oh dear God, I don't know if this is going to go out well for him or for his people, but I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have like a unique way of twisting their arm a little bit, saying, how does that feel now? And then they get a little bit angry, and then and that's what they feed on. Almost, right?
Yeah, this is like a short clip from a debate that I had like about 6 months ago, I think.
Okay.
But the idea that you can still bear arms is not being infringed on. They're not stopping you from bearing arms by having you sign up this one specific type of gun. Your right to bear arms has not been infringed. If you can still have a handgun, you can still have other rifles, but to say this one specific type of gun has to be signed up for, you have to be on a list for just this one, your right to bear arms is not infringed. You're still allowed to bear arms.
Without a government permission slip, the right to keep and bear arms has been infringed.
No.
Very much so. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, afraid so, man. Afraid so.
That's one of those laws written 200 years ago versus how does it stack up today?
No, it's legitimate. It is.
I'm
it's our
saying
Constitution.
It's not a legitimate.
Infringed. No wriggle necessary, Tom. You're welcome.
How?
Tom, it's like there's no input with you. I just gave you an explanation as to how, and you just how?
No, you did not.
Oh my gosh!
What? No questions asked.
Arms shall not be infringed.
It's not
be on the government permission list. It's been infringed. I know you think it's just a tiny little infringement because you can't possess, you cannot keep and bear unless you are on the government permission list.
You won't answer the question. How is that?
I just did, Tom. Like I said, it's like there's no input. It's like there's no input. You will not.
Right, it's okay. You won't answer the question. It's okay.
I just did actually several times.
No, you didn't. You did not. You're not going to answer the question. It's okay.
It's okay. Dude, I have several times. You just don't like the answer. I get it. You don't like the answer. No, but that's the actual answer, dude. I'm sorry.
So, as I was saying, It doesn't say that you can own.
Anyways, that's like a short clip.
Yeah, that's thank God you oh man, yeah. Whew. Sorry, dude. That's the are you is it frozen a little bit or on your side?
No, it's not frozen over here.
Okay. Well, it still shows up as 3 from the YouTube video.
I've got a different YouTube video up now.
Okay, let me see if I can. Oops.
I'll play this as long as you can hear it, I suppose.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, I just had to refresh it. Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Okay.
Because
you gotta respect the hustle, though. Like, if you can get paid to yell at people, fuck yeah, do it.
But like, he is super. Like, he's one of those people that is super confident in his opinions, and he comes off as, you know, somewhat smug because he is very confident in his opinions. But it's funny because
that's what I said. I think he's just confident in what it is that he believes. I wouldn't call them opinions. Right? Yeah, I wouldn't call them opinions, but I think he's confident in what he believes, and that comes off to some people as being smug. But to me, it just comes off as confidence sometimes. And if I believe you're wrong, then it's confidence in the wrong thing, and therefore you are smug. Like, you know, if he thinks Destiny's wrong on a consistent basis, then he's definitely gonna feel as though he's smug.
Mm-hmm.
Our debate was supposed to be about the lockdowns, and we actually ended up realizing that we were basically on the same page with like that opinion at the time. So James was like trying to come up with different things for us to like talk about. So
I watch that one because at the end of it, Destiny was like, "Oh, I guess we really don't fucking disagree on anything, do we?"
Yeah, but like, we touched on abortion a little bit because James knows that that's like my wheelhouse, and Destiny didn't really have like a formed opinion on it. So we had like a conversation a little bit back and forth. He asked me a lot of questions. But I felt like
Kay, come on. Okay.
What?
I've talked to Kay about this numerous times. He has a very formed opinion on it. It's just that within like ethics, it's hard for him to decide whether or not that is right or wrong. That's his issue. Like, so he, like, his opinion on like the way that he understands abortion, the way that he like lines it all up within his head, within like, you know, his definitions, within his you know, like all of the, you know, he feels as though lining or saying that abortion is now bad based on viability is a very inconsistent sort of way of thinking.
Okay.
You can't, like, there's no real line to draw there. And we draw lines within the laws, but they're kind of arbitrary. Like it's not, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to draw a line within viability.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. So, you know, this is all new to me. With this whole, like, I get what the whole premise of, you know, for tonight was. You know, the way that, you know, the videos so far that you've showed me was that when you get into a debate with someone, like with with Destiny and Kay Fellowz, it's best to have some disagreements in order to come up with you know, say, right. It's always good. I don't know if this is true. Is it always a good idea to start off with disagreeing two totally opposite or polar opposite situations, and then finally coming up with a solution, coming together almost, right?
Kind of. So normally in a debate, the way that it's supposed to go is each side is supposed to have a different position. And they are supposed to hold that position throughout the debate.
Yeah.
They are, so that by the end of the debate, the audience has a full idea of what each side thinks. They have all of the information from both sides of the argument, and therefore they can now have an informed opinion depending on which side they feel won. So like if one side won the debate, it like ideally the audience is now going to hear what they had to say a little bit better and say, okay, like they made better points. They defeated them on numerous arguments. They were able to coherently express logical thinking. And therefore, this is now my opinion. That's the way debates are supposed to work. Normally, it's here's my side, here's your side. My audience is coming in to watch me present my side. Your audience is coming in to watch you present your side. And now each one of us will battle and duke it out and try to get in the best burns on each other, the best jabs at each other. And then in the very end of this, my audience will hopefully have the most ammo to use against your audience.
I've seen a good example of that was I think it was this past year, or not this past year. So in 2020, it was like during the election, like early election season, in March, I think it was, or March, April, May, June, maybe in June. I saw a video of was a right-wing gay activist named Brandon Straka. I don't know if you ever followed him on Twitter. He reposted essentially a video of him a long time ago, a while back, when people could easily be in audiences, crowded rooms and stuff, and be perfectly fine. I think he posted, what was it? It was, yeah, he was duking out. Essentially, it was almost like a roast battle to me, saying, you know, at one side you have the conservative side and you have a very liberal Black Lives Matter side, essentially, and they just went after each other, you know, in the most, you know, the nicest possible way. I'm just like why? I mean, like you said, you know, they're trying to appease their audience, and some people maybe clapped for the Black Lives Matter side, and then a huge amount of people, you know, clapped for the gay rights, or you know, the LGBT rights group. You know, I'm like, what's going on here? You know, I mean, and that's all I heard. You hear the biggest cheer from either side. So, and it was just, I'm like, but is it true though? I mean,
Right.
yeah, you're cheering, but is it true what they're saying? Not is it true, but what do you think is right or wrong about what they're saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, that ideally what a debate is supposed to be is just kind of a battle of ideas, and the audience is supposed to get a better picture of what it is that both sides are talking about by the end.
Yes. Yep.
Instead, what it is my side versus your side. Let's see who can get the best jabs in.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like
I'd rather watch Trump's roast Comedy Central. I'd rather watch that instead.
Yeah, if I'm supposed
you know,
to, if I'm sitting up here pretending that I know a lot about a subject, I should be willing to go and debate it, right? Like I should be able to do that. And so lots of people who are incapable of debating a subject will go on to debate it anyways, because they have to prove to their audience that they're not afraid, that they're willing to have that debate, that they're willing to have the conversation. And it's lots of times it's just wrong. Like they're just dead wrong. And they're just showboating for absolutely no reason. So
he had kind of like, he walked away from that debate kind of like with like something to think about whenever it was like in regards to abortion. And then a couple weeks ago, James reached out to me. He's like, I really want to get you on and do an abortion debate with Destiny. And he wouldn't come on.
Interesting.
Like, no, like, no, like, he's like, I don't feel super confident. He's like, comfortable debating that because I don't have a solid opinion on it. So it's a no for me.
Interesting. Well, that's commendable. Like, at least he's not going to bullshit his way through it. That's good.
Yeah, I have to give him props for it because usually, like, if you have any, like, he claims to be pro-choice, and in my experience, anybody
I
that
think he
is
just
pro-choice
does
is-
that to like appease his
yeah,
lefty
because
crowd.
he's leftist, and leftists are supposed to be pro-choice. That's just how it goes. But usually, anybody that claims to be pro-choice, whenever they hear the opportunity to, you know, yell at a pro-lifer, they jump at that. It's like low-hanging fruit for them. I had to give him props for being like, I don't have a solid opinion on this. I'm not educated enough on the topic to form a solid opinion on it, so I'm not going to talk about it. And I have to give him like mad props for that, being somebody that has such a huge following and is known for sticking it to his followers for having any opinion that differs from his.
Yeah. No, I follow in on his Discord, and I don't catch every one of his streams. He had one of the weirdest fucking streams today. It was his. I thought it was his girlfriend, his Swedish girlfriend, but apparently there's like some other guy involved. I don't know.
There's not another guy involved. Like they were over at another guy's house. That's all it was. They were just at his house.
Yeah.
They were screwing around.
There's some weird shit going on there. But yeah, like I thought it was titled this guy's crazy or weird or something. I don't know. It made it sound like we were going to see a video of some guy like doing something really wrong, but no, it was just like his Swedish girlfriend, lady friend, or whoever she is to him, and some other dude just like doing some Twitch streaming and edited up. And I was like,
yeah, it was his fiance. He's made it clear that like he's not super interested in getting married, but he's getting married to her for like green card reasons and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, I understand that. Yeah.
And in the video, they're like, so she's streaming on her channel, and her commenters are getting really upset that there's if you've ever watched female Twitch streamers, it's mostly do you know what the word simp means?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So this comes from Twitch. The word comes from Twitch, where guys incessantly watch a female Twitch streamer and kind of fall in love with them and feel as though this is their girlfriend. They feel like and they're getting jealous when other guys are around, and so you can see the guys in the chat start getting upset when they can see another guy with her in person. And they I think he touches her arm, and like they get upset. So anyway, so the title of the stream was just to like kind of make fun of her followers on Twitch.
Right.
This is the product you're putting out. I was super disappointed. There was no intellectual thought on anything. Like it was just dumb. It seemed like something a Twitch streamer would put on YouTube. That's what
there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Some people understand that reference. I mean, it's Twitch streamers. I don't know. I just need to show more leg, and I need to get cleavage, and then I can get a lot of subs. And
yep.
Pretty much.
That's how it works.
Yeah, he's right. Like, there's lots of people who follow female streamers just because they think they're attractive. And
I followed crap. Well, obviously I'm a 25-year-old guy, so I'm 25. Well, yeah, 25 now.
Pokimane?
Huh?
Pokimane?
No, no. what the heck did I follow? I followed this YouTuber guy way back before COVID hit and stuff, and I got really involved in hanging out, or just not hanging out with, but I went to downtown bars a lot. And one of the things that I loved talking about was David Dobrik. He was a YouTube streamer guy, and one of his best friends in LA, of course, because they're all, or not streamers, they're all influencers. That's the word. They're all fucking influencers, and I swear to God, dude, I'm sorry to say this to people, but like, I don't like them. They don't, like, what other jobs do you have? What other hardworking jobs have you done at least to say that, you know what, I'm here, I'm good here now. You know, but what I didn't like about it was that her friend, or his friend, named Pouty Girl. I can't remember what the hell her real. I can't remember her name. You can look it up later on. But she's essentially like she's essentially like a porn star, I would assume. I mean, she's like in her early 20s, and what one of the stupid videos that he uploaded was her making money because her boobs were, you know, they made money because of her boobs or something. And I'm just like, oh my God, is this the life that they live? Like, why? And then right after that, I think she moved out, either moved out or did something. So they kind of separated because she wanted to her own business, do her own business, and she went back to her own place and her own apartment. And like you said, she literally was on Twitch and just did, but you know, that type of stuff. It just, I'm like, oh God, you know, you're gonna, like, I don't like that. I don't like that type. You know, when you look at the comments, if you did watch, like, I don't know if you ever watched the videos, but like, yeah, they're a bunch of simpers essentially.
I mean, kind of
like,
so consider somebody who's in construction. Okay.
Yeah.
This person has to lift like really heavy objects on a consistent basis, and like all day, every day, this is what they're doing. So they're lifting big, heavy objects and moving them from one place to another. And they're just kind of gifted at this, right?
Yeah.
They're just really good at it. It's a big dude. He's probably, 6'7" and just big and jacked, and like he's able to just do it, man. And somebody like you or me, like, we're just kind of watching him like, damn, dude, I wish like he makes good money, like lifting this freaking crap, and he's able to get babes, and like he's able to do all sorts of stuff, like, but like I can't, I'm not even physically capable of lifting that thing like at once, let alone over and over throughout the day. Like I don't know, it's kind of unfair that he's able to do this.
Right.
It's the same for female streamers who are physically gifted as a male construction worker would be physically gifted.
Yeah.
You take those physical gifts and you just try to do the best that you can with it within your life. And if there's a way for you to make a lot of money off of that, why not? Like, why not? You're not prostituting yourself. You're not going out and having sex with people. You're not becoming a slut. You're not doing any of these things, but you're using your physical gifts in a way to where you're able to better yourself, better your life, maybe better the people around you as well. Why?
Yeah.
At that point, like, it just seems like I would have trouble not doing that. My last girlfriend, very attractive woman, like she was, and she would put up like TikTok videos sometimes just talking. She would put up YouTube videos sometimes just talking, and they would immediately get like hundreds of views. And I'm sitting here like, dude, I work really hard at my craft, like, and I put a lot of effort into this, and I make sure that like what I'm talking about, it actually makes sense. And like, she could make absolutely no sense sometimes and still get hundreds of views. she could have gone on and done something like Twitch and become very popular and done really well, like but she chose a different career path that is not very profitable, but whatever, like, and I suppose that's commendable, but like, I would imagine if I was a female and I was able and I had that opportunity, that would be hard, right? Like, it would be hard to say no to that. It would be hard to say, like, oh, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. No, thank you. Not for me. I don't like money. Like,
Says no one ever. Right.
Right. Like, it's, and again, my girlfriend did say that. Like, the girl at the time, like, she was just like, you know what? That's not for me. Like, that's not something that I'm willing to do. And she continued in like real estate or some bull crap like that. It was, there are people who are willing to do that, and I suppose that's commendable. But for the people who don't like it, for the rest of us, we need to sit here and truly think, like, would I be willing to turn that down if I was them? Like, would I be willing to say, like, no, thank you. I don't like money. I'm not interested in money.
Like, I don't need to pay certain credit cards, right?
Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of fans worshiping me and loving me and sending me hundreds of dollars on a daily basis. Nah,
oh my
not
gosh.
interested. No, thank you. Who wants that? Like,
yep.
All right, that's about all I got. I gotta head off. It's 3:30 in the morning here. I got in a couple hours, so